Good morning. Are you ready for another exciting day on the Pantanal? I am so excited. It's been so much fun out here. I love waking up to the sounds of the jungle in the morning, all the birds and little mammals scurrying around. I'm just headed over right now to get some breakfast, and then we're setting out on the boat bright and early. Hopefully find some more jaguars, capybara, giant river otters. So I'm really excited. It's going to be another great day. I've got a good feeling about this. This adventure has been awesome so far, and I'm so grateful that I get to share it here. And I hope you're enjoying. Let's get to it and see what we can photograph today. If you missed the first part of this amazing adventure, let me catch you up a bit. After multiple flights and a beautiful drive down the famous Transpantaneira, a dirt highway that was just full of wildlife, I arrived at an incredible lodge in the middle of Brazil's beautiful Pantanal. This wonderful area would be my home for the next 3 days. Upon arriving, I set out immediately in search of local wildlife and was not disappointed in the least with what I found. The wildlife around the lodge was fantastic, but the real highlight was my first day on the boat in this huge wetland. Countless species of birds all around, some familiar faces and some new species that I'd never seen or photographed before. Caiman around every bend of the river, capybara, and giant otters. But the real highlight of this journey so far, the reason I set out on this grand adventure in the first place, were the many jaguars that inhabit this wildlife-rich habitat. My first day on the river did not disappoint at all. Throughout the day, my boat driver and I had multiple jaguar encounters, so many amazing photo opportunities, and some incredible memories that I'll not soon forget. Even with all these incredible encounters, I only managed to photograph about 1% of what I saw. I've made a lot of camera and photography mistakes over the years, but this one may just take the cake. Be sure to check out last week's video if you want to learn what not to do with your camera when photographing wildlife. After this awful blunder on my part, I refocused and learned from my mistake and ended the day with some photos that I was just really happy with. Let's jump back into the adventure and start with our second day in the boat on the river in this incredible ecosystem. As we set out once again in the world's largest wetland, I was reminded of just how stunning this place really is. I lived in Brazil years ago for a time, and being immersed in this breathtaking habitat just reminded me of how much I loved this country, the people and culture, and all these amazing experiences I've had and was having out here. I truly love this country, and looking around that morning, I couldn't help but think that it just felt so good to be back. We weren't on the water for long that morning before we spotted our first jaguar of the day. This was a large male in the area named Otters. He's the most easily recognized jaguar in this particular area because he's the only one with a collar. He was fitted with this collar years ago after a wildfire incident that he survived, and he has since thrived. I don't usually like to photograph animals with collars or tags or things like that, but this was a jaguar, and I quickly found myself in the viewfinder taking picture after picture. He's a beautiful cat, one that we would encounter multiple times over the course of the next 2 days. We stayed with Otters for a bit, but my boat driver and I soon decided to move on and look for some more of these amazing large cats. Continuing on, we saw a multitude of wildlife all around. Caimans, some more capybaras, birds everywhere we looked, and before we knew it, we had already spotted another beautiful jaguar. And this is how the day went out here. Jaguar encounter after jaguar encounter. Much like the previous day, I was just so overwhelmed by how amazing this place is and the frequency of the wildlife encounters we were having that they all just kind of blurred together, and I soon stopped keeping count of how many we were actually seeing. My favorite encounter of the bunch took place right at lunchtime. My boat driver and I had stopped at a nice shady bend of the river, As we sat there conversing, eating our lunches, we soon heard a slight rustle in some nearby grass along the riverbank. Scanning the terrain, we quickly saw those beautiful spots disappearing and reappearing among the vegetation. Soon, a beautiful, smaller female appeared right next to us. This was my favorite encounter, not because of some competition-winning photo that resulted from it, but because it was just me, my boat driver, and this beautiful jaguar. There we all sat for some time in complete peace. She was completely comfortable with us being there. Anytime I can share a moment like that with an animal, I put the camera away and just cherish every second. So that's exactly what I did. Eventually, she continued on her way, so we hurriedly finished our lunches and continued to spend some time with her as she moved along the bank. That's when I got the camera out and she really gave me some amazing poses and photo opportunities. The day continued with many more wildlife sightings, and we ended the evening with another larger female jaguar. These jaguars hunt the Caiman, and that's exactly what this female was looking to do. I had seen one successful hunt the previous day and was sure that I had some action-filled, incredible photos, but the encounter had happened before I realized my camera mistake of the century, and I had missed it all. Oh well, it will live on forever in my memory. Watching this female move from spot to spot looking for Caiman was great, as she really offered us some nice views. She never did find a good opportunity to hunt, but it was still wonderful to spend the evening with her and get some nice photos as a result. The sun set and we made our way back to the lodge, ready for another amazing meal and a soft, comfortable bed to retire in for the night. Come join me in Brazil's vast Pantanal as we search for regal jaguars and the other plentiful wildlife that inhabit the area. Our full days on the boat provide countless opportunities for photography, with enough room for you and all your essential camera gear. Our guides are the best of the best, and they know just where to go to get us the best shots possible. Return at the end of each day to a wonderful meal at our clean and comfortable lodge and all of the accommodations. Electricity, Wi-Fi, hot showers, and plentiful wildlife around the lodge itself. I have multiple trip options available, so hit the link in the description below, choose which option works best for you, and join me in this breathtaking wilderness. Let's get back to it. The next morning, we set out dark and early. Before long, the sun was beginning to rise on this breathtaking landscape, and everything seemed to wake up all at once. Immediately, we began to see Caiman, the herons and egrets, a pair of Jabiru storks on their nest, and a jaguar in the most vibrant morning light. This encounter was brief, but still just absolutely spectacular. It's hard to beat light like that when you have it. Shortly after our first jaguar encounter of the day, we spotted a group of giant otters moving through the murky water. I had really enjoyed our giant otter encounter from the day before, watching them as they wrestled around and played, but I found this encounter to be even more entertaining. The light was splendid as we watched this group of giant otters move from spot to spot, looking for fish to eat. Every so often, an otter would appear with a fish tight in its grasp, chomping down and getting a big mouthful. If you followed the channel for a while now, you know just how much I absolutely love otters, so spending time with this energetic group was just the highlight of the morning. The otters eventually bedded down for the morning, so we continued our search for jaguars and other wildlife. We saw more jaguars this day than either of the previous two so far. Many of the encounters were fleeting, while others were more prolonged. I spent much of the afternoon with my camera turned off, just soaking in my surroundings. I tend to do this at some point on most of my trips. I love taking time without the distraction of the camera to just relish the moment and be completely present. That evening, I had one of my favorite encounters that led to some of my favorite photos from the whole trip. These weren't action-filled shots like most photographers tend to gravitate towards, but rather pretty much the least action-filled shots you can get as a wildlife photographer. We came upon a beautiful female jaguar sleeping on a tree branch overlooking the river. We sat with her for the remainder of the evening. The light was brilliant, the background did not disappoint, and when she finally woke up and started moving, she gave us some great poses and photo opportunities. It was such an amazing and breathtaking scene, one that I won't soon forget. The boat ride back to the lodge that night was so peaceful. A nearly full moon emerged and the colors were so soft and pleasant. A wonderful end to our third day on the river. Good morning. I'm just enjoying a morning walk through this little forested area, enjoying the sights and sounds. My last morning here. My transportation's coming in about an hour and a half to come pick me up. So yeah, I just thought I would enjoy the last little stroll through this beautiful, beautiful area. There's a bunch of caracaras flying around. Saw some capuchins a little while ago. It has just been wonderful out here. I'm gonna miss it, but I will be back in about 2 months to come out with a group and have some awesome photography fun out here. It's been wonderful. I apologize for not checking in the last couple of days. It's been so crazy busy in the best way possible. We've been leaving before the sun is up in the morning and getting back after it's dark. And our days have just been filled with amazing encounters with jaguars, with the Caiman, river otters, countless species of birds, capybara, just so much out here. It is such a cool area, and I've gotten some photos that I am just thrilled with, and I cannot wait to get back out here in about 2 months with the group. And we're just gonna have a blast coming back out here. The accommodations at the lodge has been great. I love the food out here. The people have been so kind and wonderful. The room's comfortable. Just everything about this trip has been fantastic. And a little mosquito. And I just can't wait to get back out here. I hope you've enjoyed this adventure. I know I have. It's been so much fun getting back out here with the people and culture that I absolutely love. My Portuguese still is quite rusty, but it was even rustier starting this trip. So it's been great to be able to practice that with some of the people out here and to meet some new friends along the way, some amazing people. It's just been a wonderful adventure, and I hope you've enjoyed. Thank you so much for following along, and I hope you can join me out here one of these trips so that we can find some jaguars together. Have a great week. We'll see you next time.